You're on.
So now we're on the inside. So I was going to say a lot of the screens are missing. They do that on the windows. They do that a lot when a house is on the market. And there's a couple screens over here that are damaged. And then these windows, technically, these and the ones in the master bedroom should have a child safety, the fall prevention devices. Because anytime a window sill is less than 2 feet from the floor, that's a child hazard. And so they make these devices that can stop the window from going up so a child cannot fall. So I'm going to recommend that. And you'll see the same thing in the master bedroom. I'll put that in the report. This fireplace, nothing wrong with it except this is really loose. Okay. It's like somebody just tied it right here. And I don't know if you guys have turned these on yet, but all you have to do is grab the remote and hit on and it comes on. Sometimes you have to hold it down. Okay. See, I had to hold it a little bit longer. Yeah. So both are working. Both the pilot lights were on when I got here. So yeah, it's working fine. And it's a ventless fireplace. So they always just say, make sure you have carbon monoxide detectors, which I did not see in this house, not any permanent ones. So you want to definitely get those. And then if you're going to run it more than say 3 or 4 hours, crack a window when it's a ventless. Okay. But it looks great. Everything was good with that. Now let me see how to turn it off. That's low. Low and off are the same button, just so you know. Okay, come on. There we go. All right, let's go into the master. Show you a couple things in there. See, here are the same windows. When they're that low, they're just dangerous. In here, a couple little things. This is a great bathroom. When they put these doors in, they didn't caulk around the seams, and like caulk where it meets the wall over there.
Oh, interesting.
And some people want to put weather stripping here too, right here where this crack is, where they meet. And then this weather stripping's damaged, so just a little maintenance on that. Okay. Everything else in here I think was pretty good. All the faucets are running, no leaks. You have really good water pressure. I didn't see any other problems. In here, there's a few cosmetic repairs on the shelves, and these is the shelves, not a big deal, but I'll put that in there. And I think this door, one of these doors in here didn't, I think it was this one. Yeah, it doesn't latch. Okay. Just minor stuff. I think that was pretty much it in this bathroom. All right, we'll go to the kitchen next. So, all the appliances are working. Both ovens ran. I've got a picture of the gas range working. The dishwasher ran a cycle. You've had 2 garbage disposals that are both working, and everything was put in correctly. So everything looks good in the kitchen.
Oh, and just to point out, there is water. So you do have a water connection for an ice maker. Just FYI. That was something we were told we did not have, but we do have it,
good.
so that's good.
I want to go on the porch next year, a couple things.
Okay.
So this door has a little bit, I think it's just more cosmetic, but it has a little damage here. Then the weather stripping is damaged down there. Let it be in there. And then these are the rails that I just felt like were a little bit loose. See how that's got a little bit too much give? Okay. Same thing here. Just when we're this high up off the ground, I get really particular, The rest of them felt pretty solid. Okay. And then there's a few loose boards, decking boards, like over here. Okay. See this one? Just needs to be secured so somebody doesn't trip. And then both these outlets out here are not GFCIs, not the GFCI protected outlets. So I'm going to recommend doing that too, which would have been a code when they built this house. I'm not sure they got away with that. But. And then, yeah, I think that leak that I found was about somewhere in here. Okay. I think it was somewhere in here. So,
do you think that could be coming from the boot that's right up there on the roof? Is that?
It's hard to say. Well, no, it almost seems like it was concentrated at the eave. So I wasn't really. It was kind of difficult to determine. Okay. I'm gonna make sure that I'm right about that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was just a little bit. It could have been from the gutters being clogged. Who knows? Okay. But maybe it was just a little spot. It's not a big deal. I'll just maybe get somebody to research it for us. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll go in and go downstairs. I want to show you a few things down there. It's hard not to look at the view.
I know. It's so pretty.
Yeah, everything else in the house is pretty good shape on the inside. So I looked above all these ceiling tiles where I can get to them, and everything looked really good up there. All the lights were put in correctly. I didn't see any problems up there. I went in every room and did it, because usually I'm finding problems up there, but I didn't see anything. The only thing that with the ceiling, let's see, I think it was in the storage room. There was a little stain here, but I tested it with my moisture meter and it was dry. And then I pulled that, I opened it up and I looked on the back side of that panel and it was dry. So I think that might be something they spilt down here that splashed or something. So just so you know. And then the basement, every wall that I've checked has been really dry, except there's this one area in this closet. And it could be a downspout, it could be the grating, but this little corner right here is wet. See that?
Yeah.
So that was just coming up a little bit on my moisture meter, like 17 or so, 16 or 17.
Okay.
Just a little wet spot. So just need to figure. Usually that's, like I said, something going on with the gutters or something going on with the drainage outside. All right. So that was the only spot. All the other walls were dry. This bathroom had a little bit of missing grout. See right here? Mm-hmm. So that just needs to be fixed. And then this toilet's loose.
Okay.
You can slide it back and forth. So a plumber needs to fix that.
Okay.
I think that was it in this bathroom.
Okay.
I did make sure that all the bathroom fans are vented outside, and they are.
Good.
Which is good. Okay, let's see. This bathroom, where the cabinet meets the floor, there's a big gap. See that? Mm-hmm. So maybe just fill it with caulk or grout. And then this toilet looked like it had leaked at one point, but I think they fixed it because I flushed it like 3 times and I checked it with my moisture meter and it was dry.
Okay.
So I'll put all that in there. I think that was it with this bathroom. In this room, Elizabeth, the only thing I found in this room, a lot of those windows are missing screens down here, and then that light doesn't work, which I'm sure is just the light bulb.
Okay.
All right, let's go over to the mechanical room.
Okay.
This is great. This area here is great. Oh,
Isn't it awesome?
did you want me to click on that fireplace for you also? It's the same as the one upstairs.
Does it work?
Yeah, you want me to
No.
click it
As
on or
long
not?
as you long as you say it works, I'm good.
It's just like the one upstairs. It
Okay.
works just like that one, and the remote's on the mantle.
Perfect.
Something on a light switch. I think it might be back that way, actually. I think it's one of those, Elizabeth. For the hallway. Right here. I think. Let's see. No, maybe not. Oh, there you go.
Aha.
There's one on the end.
Aha.
Okay. That way we don't bump into the walls. Oh, here we go. So this is the heat pump. This is the condenser, or the air handler for the condenser that I showed you outside for the main level, and then this is for the basement.
Okay.
And so the return air filter for this one is right here. You just slide this up, and it was clean. And then the return air filter for this one is right here. You take these screws off, or these little latches, and then they've got more filters down here.
Perfect.
So this one's a 20 by 20, that one's a 20 by 24. And that will be in your report too. So they have plenty of filters, and I always say change them every 90 days.
Okay. But they look clean.
They were definitely clean. It looks good.
Awesome.
Like I said, I'm going to recommend servicing it. Everything looks good, but still, I mean, if I don't see a record that's saying it's been serviced within a year, I always say get it serviced.
Okay.
And then this electrical panel looked pretty good. They had done a couple things in here, which I think they did because of the generator, because they had some wires that were not connected to anything, some ground wires. But I think that's for the generator, so I think we're okay. But it's also, this one had a couple breakers that are that do not match the brand, so I'll put that in there as well. I checked the walls in here too, and they were all dry.
Perfect.
All right, let's go to the other room. I wanted to show you where the main water shot. This is where the water heater is. Oh, I think the light switch might be outside. Let's see. There you go. All right. So yeah, this is the main water shut off.
Oh yeah, and there's the radon mitigation system.
Yep.
And here's
yep.
a bunch of screens.
And there's all the screens.
There you go.
And it's working. Integrity put it in. That's a good company. We actually use them. But yeah, the pool looks good. So it all looks like it's working fine.
Good.
But it's still good to test, like I said.
Yep.
So just so you know, this is CSST piping, Elizabeth. You know, we see this a lot.
Yep.
And when I see this, we received a bulletin about 5 years ago about this kind of piping, and if it gets energized, if the house gets struck by lightning, this stuff has been known to explode. So the fix is you have to bond it or do a bonding ground outside. So I didn't see that, so I'm going to recommend having an electrician do that just for safety.
Okay.
And then this is your tankless water heater. It's great.
Okay.
The only thing I noticed, because it's such a big house, it took a very long time for the hot water to actually get to the faucets from time to time. But once it gets there, it stays there.
Okay.
That's the only complaint about tankless water heater. Sometimes it takes it a long time to get there.
Okay.
But once it's there, it stays.
Okay.
But I think just because this is such a big house, it just takes it longer. Some places it's going to take longer to get there. I think that's it in here. I checked this wall. This white powder substance is called efflorescence or white efflorescence. And that's what happens when there's been moisture in contact with the masonry. This could have been old though. It could have been when they built the house. I checked all these walls. They were all dry. I'll put that in the report as well.
Okay.
But it's solid construction. You can see they use 12-inch block. So it's very solid.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. I really like the little wine cellar.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's really neat. Gosh, I think that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
I mean, that was it for on my part. I mean, the inside's in great shape.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.